Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to an all-new reaction and review. Tonight, guys, I'm taking a look at a movie that came off of the Amazon wish list, and this one's a movie I've been kind of interested in checking out, specifically because of the title. The title of this thing is what totally sold me. Tonight's movie is a comedy from 2001. The title is Jesus Christ, Vampire Hunter. I'm going to say that title again, because goddammit, I just love the way it sounds. Jesus Christ, Vampire Hunter. That has to be probably one of the coolest titles in the history of film. I'm actually kind of surprised somebody was able to cook it up. Now, the plot, as the title very clearly states, is about Jesus Christ fighting vampires. What it doesn't tell you, however, though the cover here, except that the cover kind of shows it and also mentions it on the back, that Jesus is joined by Mexican wrestling legend Santo. So yeah, this thing, guys, has all of the trappings to be one of two things. It is either going to be one of the most hilariously corny movies ever fucking made, or it is going to be an unwatchable sack of shit. There is no way in hell it is going to fall in the middle. This thing is going to hit one of those two extremes by the time that the end credits roll. But the only way for me to find out exactly which one of those two extremes this film is going to be living at is if I just shut up and I start watching it. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Jesus Christ, Vampire Hunter. Alright guys, this is probably going to sound like a really minor thing, but you guys can hear this shitty music, right? Yeah, so far there has yet to be a single decent song in this film. And if this thing winds up being a fucking musical, then this music is going to get far, far more grating as the fucking movie goes on. You know, guys, it's normally a bad thing when a fight scene is almost putting you to sleep. Yet that is exactly what this current fight scene is doing right now. It is so poorly fucking choreographed and so poorly filmed that I honestly am not even able to laugh at it. It's just painful. God damn. My God, this is quite literally some of the worst acting I've ever seen in any fucking movie. God damn it, woman, shut the fuck up. I swear to God, guys, in many cases, I usually see bad acting and I'm able to laugh at it. No, this shit is not even laughably bad. This shit is painfully shitty. And I've got another, what, hour of this crap? Oh my God. I'm hoping for something here to get fucking better. I really am. Okay, I have a small problem here. Where in the fuck is Santo's accent? I'm gonna tell you guys right now, when I picture a Mexican wrestler, especially one who's supposed to be Santo, you know, legendary Mexican wrestler, I kind of picture at least some type of accent. This fucker here sporting literally no goddamn accent, and that to me just seems almost lazy. I mean, come on, man. Okay, so apparently Jesus is able to bless beer and turn it into holy water. Okay. I don't see how that makes a lick of fucking sense, but then again, I honestly am not the most, religious person on the planet. So, I guess maybe it is possible to, turn beer into fucking holy water. I don't know, but god damn it, that just seemed incredibly stupid to me. Just saying. So, wait a fucking second here. So, Jesus takes a wooden stake to the chest. He pulls it out, and all of a sudden, something which looks to be sunlight is pouring out of his chest. The sunlight is actually affecting these vampires, even though there was some stupid bullshit thing mentioned earlier about why sunlight doesn't affect them. So, Unless this light is supposed to be like the all-powerful, piercing fucking light of God or some other stupid religious bullshit, that didn't make a lick of sense. However, asking for sense in a movie this mind fucking numbingly retarded is probably asking far too much. And so Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter ends with Christ fondling some chick's ass, and oh, look at that. We have bloopers in the post-credits. Ooh, wackiness. Fuck you and fuck this movie. Okay. Well, that was Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. Before I get into the review itself, I would like to clarify again. I stated at the very start of this that going into this, we were going to get one of two kinds of films. This movie was either going to be absolutely hammy and cheesy, and I was going to love every second of it, or it was going to be unwatchably shitty. Oh my god, this thing dove headfirst into the fucking latter category so fast it almost made my head spin. Oh my god, there guys was literally no hope of this thing being good within the first 10 minutes. Within the first 10 minutes, I kind of knew I was not getting into the hammy, cheesy fun I was sort of hoping for. But hey, that happens, you know, and sometimes, you know, when you gamble, you're going to lose. Yeah, this thing here is a total loss. I will say that if there is any positive I can levy before I really get into the movie itself is that, well, the DVD cover looks cool. And the very concept is good. It's just, it was so poorly executed that, oh my god. Okay, let's start with the writing. The story here is just absolutely shallow and hideous. I'm still trying to figure out half of the shit that went down in this movie. Because they attempted to explain why the vampires are not fucking affected by sunlight. It has something to do with getting fucking skin, you know, grafts off people who aren't vampires, because that apparently counteracts the, you know, the whole, you know, sunlight weakness that vampires have. Yet at the very end, most of them are killed off by what looks to be a ray of sunlight pouring out of Jesus' chest. Again, that was probably supposed to be like the piercing, you know, like light of God or some other crap that's probably like that is probably written in some, you know, Bible or in some other kind of like religious text. I don't know. I don't care. The whole thing was fucking stupid as shit from a casual viewer's standpoint. Now, the characters here are just ridiculously shallow. Nobody has any like level of depth. Which is why when they begin to try to play up some kind of fucking like relationship thing among some of these characters, it just seems like such a wasted opportunity, because there is no personality amongst any of these characters. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, if personality was power, the characters in this film could not collectively light a fucking Christmas tree light, alright? There is no personality here at all. The characters are all flat, lifeless, and shitty. I am trying my damnedest to just try to figure out where the fuck this all went wrong. And I swear the one thing I really want to do is I just want to find the writer. I want to take him into a back alley and beat him soundly until he learns how to actually write characters who are, you know, fucking some way developed. Oh, holy shit. There are like plot points which go absolutely nowhere. At one point, Jesus is in two fight scenes at the same time. Instead of actually trying to explain it better, or maybe have it as two totally separate maybe like two separate fight scenes going on at different times. When asked why he is in place B when he's fighting vampires on the news in place A live, Jesus' one and only answer is, "I'm everywhere." No. Fuck you, okay? That is not a goddamned answer. And if that is the case, then why is it that when Jesus is getting his ass kicked in place B, it's not affecting him in place A? Why is it that Why is it that the fight in place B just magically ends, and then shortly afterwards Jesus takes the stake in the chest? Makes me wonder exactly what the hell would have happened if the other fight were still going on when he took the stake in the chest at the at the fucking junkyard. I'm curious exactly how the fuck that, would have fucking gone, down. But of course, they don't bother to explain what happened to this secondary Jesus. Perhaps maybe he just vanished into the motherfucking ether after he, won his fight. I don't know. I don't care. But it's that kind of stupid, inane bullshit which absolutely cripples this film. Now, the writing's bad, but the acting is worse. I'm going to tell you guys right now. Oh, dear sweet God. The acting in this movie is absolute crap, and part of that can be blamed on the fact that about 99% of the dialogue had to be dubbed in afterwards. You can tell because almost nobody's mouth movements match exactly what they are saying. It is almost like watching a film out of fucking like Hong Kong or something, except this film is from Canada. It's from one of the English-speaking parts of Canada, for Christ's sake. And for whatever reason, nobody is able to no one was able to go back and redo their lines so that way it matches exactly the way that their mouths were moving in the scene. So we might have a character who looked almost like they were actually attempting to emote when they filmed it, and when they dubbed in their dialogue later, they sell it as absolutely wooden as possible. I don't know if that was a stylistic choice. I don't know if that was because of their budgetary limits. But either fucking way, it comes off awful. Because guys, I do not care. Having a horrible looking dub should never be a stylistic choice, because it makes your film look cheap and shitty. Which, frankly, since this movie was only made for $100,000, I mean, shit, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. But also, it should have been a lot better. I mean, good. Oh my God. Okay. So the acting in most cases is ridiculously wooden. Part of that is because most of it is dubbed in afterwards, and apparently when everyone was dubbing in their fucking dialogue, they were all popping mountains and mountains of downers because almost everyone sounds as if they're on the verge of falling the fuck asleep. And when they are able to actually use the audio from the scene itself, it still doesn't help any, because apparently the people who worked on this film have never acted a day in their fucking lives. And I'm going to assume that none of them have gotten any jobs after this, because I don't know of any studio that would look at someone who worked on this shit shingle and said, hey, I want that person in my movie. No. Unless that person is playing a fucking mute and they are killed off within 2 minutes of showing up, there is no reason to cast anybody in this movie in any other film. Good God. Okay. I've covered acting, I've covered writing, I've covered the fucking sound, I have covered the sound mix to a point. I'm going to get to more of that a little later. Special effects. Again, I know this movie was made on the ultra cheap, so it almost feels like a low blow for me to talk about how the blood is just basically watered down ketchup. But god damn it, they could still have done better. They could have done loads better with that. The actual gore which you see is absolutely abysmal. At one point, folks, they are showing human intestines. And I swear to God, it just basically looks like somebody took a bunch of fucking socks, stitched like a bunch of socks together and just dyed them pink. Or like a pinkish, or maybe kind of like a pinkish reddish, and then covered it in this ultra fake looking blood. That literally was all that passed for fucking intestines. Oh yeah, and of course then you have to load it up with fucking like tissue paper, or like even more socks to give it, to actually have a little bit like firmness, make it actually look like it's got something in it. But still, that is totally it in terms of how fucking effects were done. And I could easily sit here and just talk about how it was made for only $100,000 and what in the fuck could you possibly expect. But guys, I'm going to talk about another movie I covered last year. I'm going to mention this one again. My My fucking bloody wedding was made for next to nothing. I don't care if it was only a couple of years ago. It was still made for next to nothing and had fucking special effects 5 million times better than any of the bullshit here. Also, My Bloody Wedding also had good writing, good acting, good lighting, good, fucking camera work, good everything. It was a solid movie. This thing, on the other hand, oh, man. By the way, while I'm talking about camera work, okay. Camera work is a little bit shaky. I'm just going to assume that most of it was shot using, handheld cameras, which is, totally fine, because, after all, low-budget film, you might not have been able to have afforded a fucking tripod, okay? I am not going to fault them on that. But what I am going to fault them on is the fact that there are times where there's either ridiculous amounts of lens flare or the film is burnt in certain areas, because you'll see on the far edge here, it will just suddenly turn red and it'll stay that bright red, which usually is burnt film, and they keep it in and it will flicker there, and it literally will draw your eye to it instead of on the center of the fucking frame. You do not leave that kind of bullshit in your fucking movie. It makes it look even cheaper than it should look, okay? And that's basic filmmaking, guys. I mean, alright, doing that is almost as bad as when I fucking uploaded my review of fucking Gladiformers without fucking knowing that the focus on my camera was all fucking wonky. I still fucking uploaded it, but at least I warned you guys ahead of time about that. But this, at no time do they fucking warn that they have the shittiest camera in the history of Canada, and it's gonna have that burning on the side almost any time that they're filming outdoors. It's really kind of off-putting, and it's just absolutely god-awful. Okay, is there anything... Music. Oh, fuck me, the music. That music is awful. You guys heard parts of it. You have no idea how bad the music is in this thing. The music is basically the kind of shit I could possibly imagine being weaponized to torture prisoners of war, okay? It really is that fucking bad. Words cannot describe how absolutely god-awful this fucking the music in this movie was. Ultimately, guys, when all is said and done, Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter here fails on every conceivable level. It fails at being a good action comedy, it fails at being a good musical, it fails at being a good action film, it fails at being a good comedy, it fails at being entertaining, it fails at being funny, it fails at being intriguing. This movie is an absolute failure. And I'm going to tell you guys, I had the highest of hopes. I wanted this movie to be good. So yeah, is this movie bad? Oh, you bet your ass it's bad. Is it the worst I've seen? No. Is it even close to the worst I've seen? No. But there's no way in hell I'm going to watch it again. Oh, man. Now, Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter came off of the Amazon wish list. The person who sent it in does not want me to promote their YouTube channel, which is totally cool. I am more than willing to do that. The person who sent in this is named Robert, and Robert, thank you. I'm going to thank you because I really wanted to watch this, and it wasn't until after you sent this in that I found out that the damn thing is on Netflix. So I could have saved you a couple of bucks. I could have saved me the wait on someone buying this thing. But you know what, though, the fact of the matter is, even then, if I would have watched this on Netflix, I would probably have been pissed off too. Why? Because the movie's horrible. But still, I would not have known unless I watched it. And Robert, it was you who helped me out with that. And dude, thank you. So yeah, guys. Seriously, this movie is no. That fucking thing is barely even a movie. That thing is absolute garbage. Wow. I actually feel a little bit, better now after just laying into this goddamn movie. So now, So now I get to spend the rest of my day just kicking back and chilling. It's going to be so much fun. Alright, so yeah, guys, with that, we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.